The Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers absolutely hate each other. So why not make a video?
What is going on, guys? It is RZFL Sports here, and today we have a different type of video. We have a collab with my boy Luke over at RedZone Rants. We're going to be making a positional breakdown between the beloved Cleveland Browns and the hated Pittsburgh Steelers. If you're a Steelers fan, are you going to get offended? Absolutely. Because I'm biased. I'm sorry. We're both biased. If you're a Browns fan, you're going to be disappointed at times. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to him, and let's get right into this.
Yo, so before we start my section of this video, I just want to say thank you to Dante for having me on. Me and my friend recently just started our NFL channel, and if you didn't know, I'm a huge Browns fan as well. So I love talking about the Browns, especially with someone else who loves the Cleveland Browns. So
without further ado, let's get into it.
We are going to start things off on the offensive side of the ball and at quarterback. Now we have Big Ben versus Baker Mayfield. This could go either way. I'm going to be honest with you. Dropping all bias aside, I think Baker Mayfield's better set up to succeed. A lot of people would say Big Ben is the better quarterback, but Baker Mayfield's the one who's better to set up to succeed in his system right now. He never really has had a good head coach, obviously. His two head coaches were two of the worst head coaches in NFL history. And now finally has an offensive line. He finally has tight ends to throw to. And he has weapons on weapons on weapons surrounding him. He has a head coach in Kevin Stefanski who is an offensive wizard and is setting him up to succeed. Big Ben definitely has a solid head coach. He definitely has a fantastic offensive line and has weapons to throw to. But he's aging. He was injured all last season. And I feel like Baker Mayfield is better at this point in time. But if you disagree with me, that's okay. Because we're looking at the entire quarterback room. We're looking at depth. And the Browns have the better depth. That's what's going to really push me over the edge. The starting quarterback can go either way. But pushing me over the edge is the depth. Case Keenum is a lot better, a whole lot better than Ducky Hodges and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm sorry, that's just facts. Okay, that's facts. Browns on quarterback.
now we got receiver. Now this one is very easy. It is going to the Cleveland Browns. Now, I do think the Steelers still have a good receiving crew in Juju, Deontay Johnson, James Washington. But, yeah, the Browns, we have two Pro Bowl receivers. It's just, we also have Rashard Higgins, who's really good, but him and Freddie Kitchens just had some beef last year. That's why he wasn't on the field. We also have Damian Rowley, who showed that he could be all right. Two Pro Bowlers and one receiver that is very, very good in Rashard Higgins. The Steelers have Juju, who wasn't good last year, and they have Deontay Johnson and James Washington, who are two young players who are both just developing. So this one isn't really that much of a debate. If it was just who was the best pass catchers, it'd be more of an easy debate because our tight ends are 30 times better than their tight end.
Tight ends. This one is also not even close. I understand Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald are solid, but they just aren't better than Austin Hooper, David Njoku, and Harrison Bryant. Heck, our fourth tight end, Stephen Carlson, completely owned the Steelers last year on a multitude of occasions. This one, I just don't know what to say. Austin Hooper, Pro Bowler. David Njoku, freak of nature, struggles with drops. So does Ebron. Harrison Bryant, voted college football's best tight end. Stephen Carlson, he's a beast. They're just better than Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald had a fall. Enough said. Browns. Running backs, that's not even close. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are most likely the best duo in the league. Nick Chubb's a top 3 back. Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing just a few years ago. Nick Chubb nearly led the league rushing with Freddie Kitchens and was just a baller last year. I understand James Conner and Benny Snell have potential, but this one's not even close. Combine that with Andy Janovich now in that backfield, and the Browns clearly have the better backfield. Running backs goes to Cleveland. Offensive line, this is clearly going to go to Pittsburgh. The Steelers had the number 9 offensive line in the league according to PFF last year, while the Browns had 23. The Browns did make some moves, but the Steelers have one of the most consistent offensive lines in the league. They have Marquise Pouncey, Alejandro Villanueva, Ramon Foster, David DeCastro. I mean, that line is completely juiced. This one's got to go to the Steelers, even though the Browns did make some moves this offseason.
Starting off my list, we got defensive line. Now, I will say this, the Browns have more depth at defensive line, but the Steelers have a 3-headed monster, and you can't question that. Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, and Stephon Tuitt. All 3 players who have put up over 9 sacks last year. I do think the Browns have the best defensive end, in the AFC North, in Myles Garrett, obviously. He would have had at least 17 sacks last year if he didn't get suspended. This dude had 10 sacks by like week 10. We also have Larry Ogunjobi, Sheldon Richardson, and Olivier Vernon, but I do think Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward are both better than Olivier Vernon. So if you're just going to go off pure talent, then I guess I can give it to the Steelers, but depth and just a more well-rounded defensive line, you give it to the Browns. So it's kind of your call there. Non-biased, I would give it to the Steelers, that just because they have like a real three-headed monster. The Browns have 2 elite defensive ends, Steelers have 2 elite defensive ends, and the Steelers have 1 elite defensive tackle. We have 2 elite defensive tackles, so it's kind of similar. Whatever you guys want to go there, it depends what you base this one off of for me.
Now we are on to linebacker, and as you saw, we moved up TJ Watt to defensive line because he's more of an edge rusher than anything. Technically, he's an outside linebacker, but when he drops back into coverage, he gets burnt by receivers like demonstrated here by Rashard Higgins. That's besides the point. The Steelers have the better linebacking core, in my opinion. They make plays all the time. They stop the run, and they force turnovers. That's the biggest thing. They have experience there, and I'm going to go with the proven guys over the Browns' young, up-and-coming linebacking core. The Browns do have Mack Wilson, who's someone that you better not sleep on. They always be sleeping on him. And then you have Jacob Phillips and Sione Takitaki. I still got to go with the Steelers here. But there is one thing that Mack Wilson does better than anybody, and that's called coverage. Devin Bush wouldn't know what coverage is because he gave up 5 touchdowns in coverage last year. Just had to say that, Steelers fans. I'm sorry, not sorry. Let's go next position.
Cornerbacks. This one's also kind of tough, but I did give it to the Cleveland Browns. Joe Hayden and Steven Nelson are kind of their only good cornerbacks. Joe Hayden had a really good year last year, had 6 interceptions. But if Greedy and Denzel Ward can stay healthy, they will be really efficient and really consistent, in my opinion. Obviously, Denzel Ward's already a Pro Bowler. Greedy Williams, if he stays healthy, he will be a Pro Bowler. The Steelers' 2 best cornerbacks are aging, while our 2 best cornerbacks are really young. We also have Terrence Mitchell, who was really good last year. He was definitely someone who we could trust. He's also pretty tricky, but I just think we have more depth at that position. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments on that one.
Finally, we have safeties, and we're going to have to go with the Steelers here on this one. The Steelers, they have Minka, who did not play very well at the start of the year with the Dolphins, but once he was surrounded by a good defense, he lit the league on fire. He was amazing in coverage, amazing in hits, stopping the run, forcing turnovers. Everything you want from a safety was a ball hawk. And I think that he is proven was worth the first-round pick. You also have Edmonds, who's pretty solid as well. I take that over the Browns, who did make some moves in the offseason at safety. They drafted Grant Delpit, who's going to be a star in this league. But, guys, I gotta go with the Steelers on this one. Okay? Steelers, they win safety.
Anyways, I just want to say thank you to my guy RZFL Sports for having me on. We did a mock draft on my channel, fantasy mock draft, so make sure you go check that out. And I'll leave it to Dante.
That's going to wrap up the video. I want to thank you guys for watching. We saw the Steelers take home most of the defensive accolades, but the Browns took home most of the offensive accolades. I feel like the Browns had the better team, but the Steelers have such a good defense. They can go a lot of places. This is going to be a very tight division this year. If you want to see Browns versus Bengals or Browns versus Ravens comparisons, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Thank you to my boy Luke from RedZone Rants. Go ahead and check him out. Link will be in the description. We did a video on his channel. And that's going to be it, guys. See ya. Dog check. Dogs gotta eat.